Hey guys, so I thought it was time for a nose piercing update. I've been getting a lot of questions on Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, YouTube, just everywhere that I am, how it's doing and how I healed the keloid that I got and stuff like that. So I thought I would just go through, show you some pictures of the healing process because it got really bad there for a minute. But we're good now, kind of. It's still healing. I mean, it's not sensitive anymore unless I like really hit it, which I've done so many times. Cartilage takes a while to heal. Some people say it takes 6 weeks. Some people say it takes over a year. I don't know. I don't. I'm not a professional. I should point that out to you. I'm not a piercer. I'm just here to share my experience. I've had the piercing for almost 6 months now. I don't remember the exact date that I got it, but it's been about 6 months since I've had it because I think it was in November. And then I changed it on January 1st, or December 31st rather, on New Year's. I changed it to a hoop, and that was the first time that I changed it. So I'd only had it at that point for 6 weeks. Actually, I think it was less than 6 weeks. I think it was like 5.5 weeks. So I didn't really listen to my piercer. So I changed it too early, but I really desperately wanted a hoop. So I had a keloid. I call it a keloid just because it's easier than saying hypertrophic scarring, but that's what it was. Hypertrophic scarring is when you get those little bumps on your piercing next to your nose. Keloids are actually scar tissue that does not heal. It never goes away, and most of the time you have to have surgery to get rid of it. I don't know how people started to call what grows on piercings, that sounds gross. What like grows on your skin next to the piercing. I don't know who started calling that a keloid, but it's not. It's hypertrophic scarring, but anyway, so I had that scarring thing going on, and I tried tons of home remedies and how to get rid of it, and oh my gosh, I tried everything. I was so sad for a while because I thought I was gonna have to eventually take it out because I had the keloid. I'm just gonna keep calling it a keloid even though it's hypertrophic. We know the difference now, okay. I think I got it 4 weeks after I got it pierced. I honestly think it was because of how I was cleaning it. My piercer told me to clean my piercing 2 to 3 times a day with Dial soap. So many people, as soon as I said that in that piercing video when I talked about my experience, which if you want to know about that side of things, like the pain and the cost, and watch me actually get it done, I will link that video down below. When I posted that video, so many people were like, no, don't use Dial. And at first I was like, oh my god, there's tons of people saying don't use Dial, but I used it anyway because I wanted to listen to my piercer first and foremost because he's a professional. Not that I had any doubt in you guys. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say if you have a fresh piercing and a keloid happening to stop listening to your piercer and go a different route, but honestly the best cleansing method for piercings is sea salt soaks. Actually, I would recommend switching if you're using Dial soap on a piercing right now. Not that it doesn't work for everybody, but for me it completely irritated the piercing and dried it out and caused the bump. But you can't go wrong with sea salt soaks. They're not damaging, they're non-irritating as long as you have the ratio right for you know, the salt to water. So I went the whole 6 weeks of cleaning it with Dial, and I think I continued to, no, I didn't after that, because then I changed it to this, and then I started to do sea salt soaks because that was the #1 recommendation for hypertrophic scarring that I found online. So I did the sea salt soaks for a while, and then I thought that I was using the wrong ratio, and so I was just like on the verge of giving up because I used it for so long and it never went away. And it didn't actually go away until recently, and I still have a little bit of stuff going on. It's not like completely flat all the way around the piercing, but you cannot see it anymore unless you're really up close to me. Now, I just changed my piercing last night to this hoop. The hoop that I had before was an open hoop, so it was kind of just like this, and you would like put it in like that, twist it until the little flat bar thing hit the edge of your nose, but then this part would just be like chilling right outside your nose. Like you could see where your piercing ended, where the hoop ended, and I didn't like that. So I got this one at Spencer's, and it is one of those where you have to like close really hard. So I used a towel and like gripped it. I couldn't do that the first time I changed my piercing because it was so sensitive still that squeezing it that hard would hurt, but now it's like, you know, I can hit it and stuff and it doesn't like bother me anymore. I can put makeup on that area now. I started putting makeup on that area I'd say about a month ago, or 2 months ago actually. But anyway, we're gonna get on to how I got rid of that freaking thing. So I tried tea tree oil, I tried cortisone cream, I tried hydrogen peroxide, I tried sea salt soaks, I tried salt masks, I've tried aspirin masks, I tried everything to get rid of that bump. And honestly, I think the thing is, it's different for everybody. So many people were like, tea tree oil, it'll be gone in 2 days, 5 days, 6 days. I mean, they were giving me these short ass numbers and I was like, cool. So I used tea tree oil. No, I used it so much, so religiously. I used it straight, I diluted it, I did everything in the book you can with it to get rid of it, and it didn't work until recently. I don't know when the bumps started to go down, but I decided to give tea tree oil another chance. So what I would do is take a Q-tip, dip it in the bottle of tea tree oil, take that Q-tip, run it under water, and then put it on. So I would dilute it a lot. I would basically rinse off the Q-tip of all the oil, but there was still a little bit on there. I did that process for a couple weeks and it went away. I honestly felt so self-conscious of my piercing for so long because of that bump, and I knew everyone was looking at it, and I couldn't put makeup on it because that would just irritate it. I mean, you have to keep that area clean, and oh my god, it was so brutal. But now that it's gone down significantly, I'm so in love with it. So I'm going to zoom you in and show you what I mean, but I have a little bit of a bump still. Like, it's not perfect. I mean, I really don't know if you're going to be able to see. Sorry about my nails, they're really short again. That it's not really perfect. So yeah, it's a little irritated on the inside right now from changing it. But that's what we're looking at. See, it's not perfect, but the big bump is gone. So for me, what worked was tea tree oil. Now, like I said, you have to dilute it a lot, otherwise the oil is just going to dry out your skin. And that's the other thing, it really dried out my skin around the piercing. So if you're struggling with that kind of situation now, don't be too embarrassed by it or anxious about it, because eventually it will go away. You don't have to take it out. You really don't, unless it gets infected or something and it's just like gonna make your nose fall off, then maybe. But a simple bump, it is curable and eventually it will go away. It's just due to irritation, however you're cleaning it, or if you hit it, or if you put makeup on it, or face wash, or whatever. There's just something irritating it. So you just kind of have to experiment a little bit with what works best. A lot of the treatments that I tried were very harsh, including the tea tree oil. That's why you have to dilute it. Because if it's too harsh, like the aspirin mask was way too harsh, it'll just irritate it more, and if anything, make it bigger. So I don't recommend going to those extreme routes unless you're really desperate and you've tried the sea salt soaks. But I can relate. I know what it's like to have that ugly bump, and it's so annoying, but I'm an example to show you that it goes away. It really does. You just have to be patient and not care what people think. Eventually it's going to go away and it'll be worth it. Just don't take it out, like I said, unless it's like a really bad situation or, you know, a problem going on, then please do. I hope this is a little bit helpful as an update to you guys for the piercing update and stuff. If you have any questions about it, like if it comes out when I make out and things like that, you can leave that down below. And just random info. Any other info you want to know about my healing update or my healing process while going through the nose piercing. I just had been getting a lot of questions, so I thought I would answer them here and tell you how I got rid of the thing, the ugly thing. But I hope you enjoyed, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.